Hey guys, Mike Chen here in the art district of Houston, Texas, and I'm about to embark on a crawfish tour. So tomorrow I'm gonna try some Texas style crawfish pho, crawfish po' boy, some other seafood dishes, but today, going for some barbecue at Henderson King. And this place is actually a general store with tons of groceries, locally made spices, food ingredients, lemonades, honey, sausage, meats. This is one of the most charming hidden gem barbecue places I've ever been to. Just walking in, such a fun vibe with all sorts of locally made foods and drinks and ingredients surrounding you. And of course, there's the barbecue. Basically, I want to try all the barbecue, and this is the way to do it. The Pit Master Plate: brisket, sausage, pulled pork, smoked chicken, pork ribs, potato salad, corn, coleslaw, pickles, jalapenos, the onions. This is all the classic hits on a giant plate. Also, we're in Texas, so 4 slices of Texas toast. Look at how beautiful this smoke ring is. The whole rib is shiny, it's glistening. Oh, look at all that amazing seasoning on top. This thing is smoked to absolute perfection. Golden brown color on the outside. Look at this. 0 effort required, and the bone comes clean off. That is absolute beauty of a pork rib. It's just shining with juice on the inside. Oh, that sweet smoke is so intoxicating. That thing just gets better and more flavorful as you chew. Nice fattiness on the ribs too. Cleanse your palate. Some potato salad. That's a nice and mustardy potato salad. That's delicious pork rib. Try out some of their homemade spicy barbecue sauce. Spicy, zesty. The sauce itself is really smoky as well. No matter how many times I've had it, delicious Texas barbecue, I'll eat that any day of the week. Oh, this pulled pork is awesome. Juicy, fatty pulled pork. As you chew, the juice just oozes out from the meat. Get a little barbecue sauce action on this. Get some of that tangy sauce to balance out the fattiness of the pulled pork. That's perfect. Also, got some of this homemade boudin. Haven't had this since I was in Lafayette several years ago. So this is a sausage stuffed with rice and liver. This is so good here. I remember loving this the first time I had it, and they make such a good version of this dish here. Snappy casing. The rice is so flavorful and fragrant. You got that tiny organy flavor from the liver. And this thing is smoky as well. Oh, I love this. It's so good. Cheddar jalapeno brats. They really knocked it out of the park with the sausages here. Finally, I'm saving the best for last. Brisket. Fatty brisket. Falls apart like it's made out of jello. Nobody does brisket like the way Texas does brisket. Every single time I take a bite of it, it just puts you in this fatty, juicy trance. This brisket, perfect. Wonderful crust, ultra smoky flavor, and again, that fattiness, that the melting your mouth ability of this brisket hits all the right notes for me. Let's put it all together. Some pork rib, some brisket, definitely a lot of the jalapeno brats, pulled pork, onions, pickles, jalapenos, blast of spicy barbecue sauce, some potato salad on top, because why not? Close it up with all the best Texas barbecue items combined. You get the ultimate Texas barbecue sandwich. That was such a good bite. The creaminess and the mustard from the potato salad, the crunch and juiciness from the onions. Actually, put some slaw on this as well. for even more crunch. Yeah, that bite got some cartilage from the pork ribs. Chase all that with some boudin. This might be my favorite thing here. As good as the barbecue is, this thing is amazing. I think this might be my first Texas barbecue experience here in Houston. What a great place to eat this. Maybe go get a bubble tea, and then tomorrow, the crawfish adventure begins. Breakfast time, this place gets fresh live crawfish delivered to them every single day, and this is the only place for Crawfish Pho. This is beautiful looking pho. And dewy sausage, little bits of crawfish tail in the soup, and you get, with it, a whole crawfish. This is a really good bowl of pho. The soup is really clear and light. There's some heat in this as well. Wow. Oh, that is delicious. And all that heat is before adding any sriracha. Squeeze a lime in here. I love pho for breakfast. Noodles are chewy and scrumptious. Crawfish tail. The tail is tender. It provides a nice little subtle sweetness to pho. There's some crunchy sprouts in here, some fresh herbs, scallions. This is a really solid bowl of pho. There's also an entire andouille sausage in here. This is a really good sausage for soups because it has a great tender smoky heat. And that is fantastic in this bowl of pho. Take the little crawfish, twist the tail off. I'm just gonna fill the inside of the crawfish with some of that soup. Suck on the head. Oh, so good. Fresh as you can get crawfish. Don't even need any sriracha. Perfect heat, perfect flavor. If you love crawfish and you love pho, this is the ultimate hybrid. Highly recommend. Another favorite here. This is called magic rice, and this thing is loaded with andouille sausage, shrimp, crawfish tail. This is a buttery, garlicky, fully loaded fried rice. All the ingredients work so well in this. The shrimp and crawfish is sweet, the sausage is snappy and smoky, it's buttery, it's fragrant. This is pure food addiction. Once you start, you don't want to stop eating this. It's so good. Finally, crawfish empanadas. Oh my gosh, this thing is just absolutely packed full of crawfish tail. Dunk it in some sauce. Absolute must try. Flaky empanada. That's a juicy, juicy bite of crawfish. Everything about this. Especially that juicy burst of sweet crawfish when you bite into the middle of that empanada. This place is awesome. They also got tons of different seasoning flavors for their seafood. I'm sure that's delicious as well, but I highly recommend getting the pho, the fried rice, and the empanada. Basically everything I ate today. Can't walk out of here without trying the bag of the fresh crawfish. This is a giant bag of crawfish. As soon as the crawfish popped out of the bag, you smelled the fragrance from all that great Cajun spices just clobbers you in the face. Every single crawfish is covered in delicious Cajun seasoning. These things just arrived at the restaurant today, live and kicking, cooked in a stock to steep in more flavor, covered in spices. Also, there's potatoes, there's corn, there's andouille sausage here as well. Twist the tail off. Again, this is the good part, right in the head. Pure flavor. Squeeze the tail, pull it apart, vein comes right out. And that is a nice, giant-sized crawfish tail. Oh, there's so much flavor in that. First of all, that's as fresh as you can get. That's a tender crawfish tail. Juicy, sweet, plump, and the delicious Cajun sausage definitely did the trick. You'll want to suck on the shell of the crawfish before you eat it. Spicy, smoky, garlicky, that's a lot of good stuff. This one, dunk it in some of the butter they give you, a little bit of extra seasoning. These things are already so delicious on their own, but if you want to dunk it in some butter and make it even more buttery, ain't nothing wrong with that. Or dip it in some of the spicy mayo. There's really no wrong way to eat this crawfish. I mean, the crawfish itself is so quality. Freshly cooked, live crawfish. Just that itself is so good. Plus the delicious seasoning, and they got all sorts of other flavors as well, like tom yum or Sichuan. I love Cajun anything, so got mine with these spices, but definitely come here and try out everything else. This is an amazing crawfish place. Everything I tried today, mind-blowing. I had to take a coma nap after all the good food I just had. It is now dinner time, and dinner, we are at Drunken Lobster. I've been wanting to come to this place for a long, long time. Check out the spread that is in front of me. First of all, sizzling scallops with cilantro, masago, grilled onions, fresh basil, and these are little bay scallops. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is amazing. I'm gonna add a little fresh herb to this. That is such a unique dish. There's sizzling scallops. And then there's dish. Because they're so tender and delicate, that's why it's so genius to pair it with some crunchy cilantro and the masago, because they all bring such a unique crunchy texture to these delicate scallops. So it's savory, a little spicy, I think a bit of sriracha on this as well. Super refreshing from the herbs. And again, that awesome crunchy texture. It's like eating little savory Pop Rocks in your mouth. This is fantastic. Next up, these are top neck clams, fresh from New England. This thing is stuffed with fried onions, tamarind sauce, some scallions, looks like crushed peanuts, all sitting on top of a fresh clam. Oh my God. I love eating seafood in Vietnamese restaurants. Because Vietnamese food, there's always a refreshing, herby veg element that just works so well with the dish. Here, it's just like the scallops. These clams pretty much melt in your mouth, sitting on a sizzling hot plate. All the ingredients, the crunchy onions, the nuts, the scallions. You can put a little basil leaf on top for some additional herbiness. Everything works not to really cover up the flavor of the clam. Everything just works so well together on this half shell. Crunchy peanuts, scallions, fried onions balance out that super, and I mean really tender and sweet clam. It's savory, it's refreshing, it's smoky. Also, I really do appreciate it when I bite into a clam and there's not a single grain of sand. These are cleaned so well. Next plate, this thing smells so freaking good. This is called the godly fried rice. Oxtail, brisket, onions and eggs, and then a perfectly fried runny egg sitting on top. And just poke the egg, let the yolk run all throughout the rice, covering with that rich creaminess. Inside, you can see the shreds of brisket, because we are in Texas. Brisket and fried rice, that's gotta happen. This thing not only looks godly, it smells godly as well. Wow. Yeah, it tastes pretty godly too. I am having a really good fried rice day today. Fried rice is my guilty pleasure. I make a lot of it just because every time I cook at home, I always have leftover rice. Always end up making fried rice the next day. I'll put my personal fried rice recipe down below for you guys. I'll admit, ain't nothing like this. The brisket, especially the fattier parts, gives you such a nice gelatinously filled bite. There's also chilies on here, all that with some crunch of the onions for some textural balance. And then the oxtail, that's where you get so much fat and collagen, all that sticky good stuff. All that just adds to the divine flavor of this fried rice. Holy moly. And then some extra richness from the egg on top. This thing also tastes very earthy, very robust. At the same time, refreshingly fragrant because of the basil. I really like this. Finally, the last dish. This is the reason why I came here. I'm so glad I did because I found a lot of other dishes I didn't even notice before, but now it's a must try. Look at this. It's a giant plate of stir-fried lobster. An entire lobster sitting on top a bed of noodles, cooked with some scallions, cilantro. The lobster is deep fried and then tossed into the wok with some extra seasoning and sauce. Let's try the noodles first. Really rich and buttery. Lo mein noodles. Look at that fantastic al dente chew. You can taste a lot of wok in here. Lobster, like I said, deep fried and then tossed into the wok. The stuff on the shell of the lobster, eat that first. Oh, that's so sweet and good. Chase that with some of the buttery noodles. That is a combo bite for the ages. Also, check this out. Little clusters of lobster caviar. Take that, mummify that up with some noodles. Lobster caviar, slightly sweet, little yolky, and that's pretty much spread all throughout the plate. So whenever you're taking a bite of your noodles, you're tasting that caviar. And because this has been stir-fried, so much of the wok and the flavor has infused into the lobster. I would say take the lobster, take some noodles, eat it with the noodles. You can taste the lobster meat, the noodles, the lobster caviar, everything this giant plate of delicious lobster noodles does best is in that bite. And this is one of those dishes that I don't eat often, but when I do eat it, it'll take your taste buds on a trip. This restaurant really does everything well. It's shellfish, extraordinary. Fried rice, must try. And you just gotta get this. This is like the ultimate in noodle dishes. Lobster noodles. Yeah, this has been one of the most ultimate shellfish days of my life.